Hey guys, Aaron from RBT. Just here to talk to you about neuromuscular activation and just how we can actually implement it into our workouts. Alright, most of the time at RBT or in general life, we only actually go to the gym about anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. So, you know, add more bang for our buck when we work out, that's what we want. Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you today about neuromuscular activation. So, first thing we need to understand is what actually our neuromuscular system is. It's a combination of our nervous system and also our muscular system, which are required for a physical activity. So in a sense, what we want to talk about is our nerves is one, and muscles, they work hand in hand together, and at any time they make a muscular contraction. Okay, this happens as our brain, which is our motor cortex or our nervous system, it sends a message all the way down our spinal cord through our nerves, goes to the muscle, and it causes it to contract. This is what we know as neuromuscular activation. Alright, so as we exercise and do actually large movements, we require neuromuscular activation, obviously, because we need our muscles to contract. Alright. So as we get more complicated with exercises, the greater neuromuscular activation which is required. Alright? So at RBT, the reason why we do such large compound exercises and minimal exercises is because we actually it requires a large amount of neuromuscular activation. Okay, so big compound exercises, so we're actually looking at our squat, our deadlifts, our floor press, also our chin-ups. So any large group muscles that we actually hit also require, a large amount of neuromuscular activation. Okay, so why is this important? Why do we need to know about neuromuscular activation? Okay, the reason why I find it so important we need it is at the same time that we fire our muscles, we both need both our cardiovascular system to be working and also our nervous system working. So we work hand in hand, so we're getting optimal results. Okay, so the more demanding it is on our body, the more neuromuscular activation we need. Okay, so the greater neuromuscular activation we get, the better strength gains we get, the greater energy usage. Also, this can relate into fat loss, and also you get bang for your buck when you work out. Okay, so the next thing is, with our nervous system, we can train it and train it and train it, and it automatically picks up on patterns. Okay, so when we do squats, we do deadlifts, we do them at such high repetitions because we want to make this muscle memory. Okay, that's another part of our nervous system, is trying to develop muscle memory. So the reason why at RBT we just cue and cue and cue and work on technique all the time is because repetition after repetition after repetition, we need about 4,000 to 6,000 repetitions for our body to start making it a muscle memory. So that's the reason why we're so big on technique and form, and we always push and push and push and trying to make everything perfect, so then that we're getting those better muscle memory patterns when we work out. Okay? So I'm going to talk about pre-activation, and this is what's going to actually optimize our neuromuscular activation. Alright? So how do we make our neuromuscular activation better? We use pre-activation. Okay, so just like our cardiovascular system, we also require our neuromuscular system to warm up. So when we talk about cardiovascular system, we talk about oxygen. Okay, so our body getting, taking in air, so that's why we usually go for a run, go for a row, something to get our heart rate up. At the same time, we also need to prep our neuromuscular system to fire our muscles correctly. Okay, so as we do pre-activation work, it actually is designed to actually enhance communication between our neuro system and our muscles. So as they work in a relationship together and they move and they contract, we want to actually optimize this so then they're actually firing at the right rate. Okay, so we also use pre-activation exercises not just to enhance neuroactivation, but we help it to fire weaker muscles. Okay, because we get a lot of weak muscles just from our everyday, well-being, going by, everyday desk jobs, working. We work anteriorly, so we work in front of us. Okay. Also, so massive problems that come up from working anteriorly, because majority of people either work behind desks or actually all they work in front of them, are two things. So I'm going to get Adam to come in just to show you these postural abnormalities, and I know a lot of people will have them. The degree of postural abnormality can range, from very severe to less severe. So I'm going to get Adam to come in, and I'll show you these postural abnormalities, okay? So, say hi. So, I'm going to show you, the first one is rounded shoulders, alright? So, a lot of people come into our gym, they start to get rounded shoulders. So I'm going to get Adam to show you what rounded shoulders look like, okay? So, a massive problem is our posture tilts forward, our back starts to round, our pecs start to come in, okay? So, the way we want to look at this is, we've got really, really tight traps, really, really tight pecs. We need to work on our deep neck flexors, and we also need to work on our rhomboids and our mid traps. Okay, so using pre-activation work is we can activate those muscles and actually cause them to fire when we're doing back exercises or doing anything that involves them, so they're actually firing, so then we're not neglecting them. Because we work so much anteriorly, the problem is we actually neglect those muscles and they become weak. We don't fire them, we overuse our pecs and also our upper traps. That's why a lot of people find with their upper traps, they get really, really tight, and then they get, neck pain, headaches, other things like that. Okay? The other thing I want to say, another postural abnormality is an anterior pelvic tilt. Okay? It's a massive thing we find with a lot of people. It affects your squatting, also your running, your lunging, anything to do with the lower body. Okay? So I'm going to get Adam to show you an anterior pelvic tilt. So he's just going to over-exaggerate. So as I pull up his top, you can notice his pelvis is just completely tilted out. Also, you see his butt just sticking out, and we get this massive curve in our lower back. Okay, so you start to get tight hip flexors, tight erector spine in our lower lumbar spine. Also, we get weak glutes and weak core. So the reason why I'm telling you this guys, is because we see this in a lot of people. Okay. And people that come into RBT, we want to maximize their results. So the best way we do that is maybe giving them some homework that we can do. So involving them and teaching them about pre-activation, you're going to get the best bang for your buck when you do some squatting, or you're doing bent over row, or any sort of chin-ups, or any sort of compound exercises, because we want to be firing optimal amount of muscles, right? Because obviously the more muscle usage we're getting, the more fat burning, the more energy we're getting out of our workout. Alright? So as I said, with all this, the main benefits of doing pre-activation exercises is actually to improve your performance during exercise. Because who doesn't want to improve their performance? Who doesn't want to lift stronger? Who doesn't want to run faster? Who doesn't want to get more power and speed? Right? So by doing these pre-activation exercises, we get more neuromuscular activation, which causes firing of muscles and during exercise. Alright? The more firing we get, the more activation we get. That's what we want. Alright? We also want to eliminate nervous system fatigue. So obviously the more and more we lift, we get more fatigue. So as we pre-activate it and make it more efficient, we're getting less fatigue. Just like with your muscles, they get stronger and stronger, and they keep adapting the more you work out. Alright? So for the next about 10-15 minutes, I'm going to take you guys through some exercises for pre-activation. I'm going to cover everything from your chest, your shoulders, your core, your glutes, your hamstrings, and also your quads. Okay, they're the main areas that everyone hits. And how we do optimize them? We do that with exercises. Okay, there's 4 key things that are really, really, really important while we're doing pre-activation exercises. Okay, number 1 is that we do not want to go to fatigue. Okay, so when we do these pre-activation exercises, we only want to do about 10 to 15 reps. Okay, we're not doing over 30, 40 reps to try and get lactic acid buildup. We're not turning on, we're not getting proper activation that way. Okay, another thing is we want to do 1 to 2 sets. So 1 to 2 sets. Okay, that's another important thing. Alright, next we want to use a slow tempo. Okay, so we're really using our brain to concentrate on firing those muscles. Okay, because remember, it's both neuro and muscular. We need both to come together to get maximal activation. Okay? Really, I couldn't stress that anymore. We need to really concentrate on the muscles that we're trying to fire. Okay? Another thing is that we want to squeeze. Okay, so I'll show you later, and I'll explain later when we start to do some exercises what we want to be squeezing. Okay? Remember, these exercises are not meant to be taxing. Okay? That's not what this workout's for. Okay? This workout's designed to actually improve our signals between our nervous system and your muscles to fire them effectively. Okay? Think of this as we're trying to wake up your muscles. Okay? We're waking them up, getting them prepped, ready. Then you go, you do your workout. Okay? So first, number one, we're going to go with the chest. Okay? So I'm going to get Adam to come back in. He's going to demonstrate for me. I'm going to explain what we want to see, and then we're going to go from there. Okay? So, number one, isometric chest press. Okay? So I'm going to get Adam to hold his hands together, bring his elbows up, just so his hands slightly forward, and as he presses his hands together, he really wants to concentrate on squeezing his pecs together. Okay? If you guys want to try that at home right now, you can try that at home. Just really concentrate on squeezing that. He's going to relax after 5 seconds, and then he's going to continue this. Okay? Remember, we're not going for fatigue. We're really trying to concentrate on the contraction. Okay? Perfect, Adam. Alright? The next one that everyone does during warm-up is push-ups for chest. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we can pre-activate that with push-ups. Alright, so I'm going to get Adam to do some push-ups for me. The thing is with pre-activation work and push-ups is as Adam comes down, he wants to use a really slow tempo. He really wants to concentrate on activating his triceps, activating his pectoral muscles, so his chest. Good. As he slowly comes up, he wants to try and move the floor together and really contract his chest. Alright, so he's making sure his brain is thinking of his chest and he's really focusing on activating that. Okay? We want to continue that. Do 10 to 15 reps. Remember, we do not want to go into fatigue. We really want to use that nice controlled tempo and use our motor cortex or our brain to really fire those muscles. Okay? The next thing is we're going to do a bad pull apart. However, I need to quickly go ahead. Here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so you need a really light band, no high strength or anything like that that's going to cause you any fatigue. Okay, the first back exercise we're going to do is called a band pull apart. Okay, so I'm going to get Adam to grab the band shoulder width apart. Okay, making sure his arms are nice and straight. The next thing I'm going to get him to do is actually pull the band apart. Good. Okay, as he pulls the band apart, I want to get him to spin around. He's really concentrating on squeezing his shoulder blades together. As he squeezes his shoulder blades, we're getting those big traps, we're getting those rhomboids activated, okay? So then he's going to come back with a controlled tempo. Remember, it's all about control and slow tempo, and then come back out. Good, he's going to really squeeze that. We're going to continue that. Remember, 10 to 15 reps, remember, never go into failure, okay? The next thing we're going to do to activate his back again, we're going to do another exercise. We're going to do band pullovers, okay? So, he's going to stand inside the band, shoulders width apart, and he's going to pull the band over his head. Okay, good. He's really trying to activate these lats, really squeezing them and hitting his traps as well, okay? Those are 2 exercises that are really good to activate your back, okay? The next one we're going to do is a front raise, okay? So he's going to use the band, shoulder width apart, okay, standing inside. From here, we're going to do a front raise, okay? So he's going to really think about contracting his deltoid, so his shoulder muscles, and really come up with a slow tempo. Same thing, 10 to 15 reps, and come back down. Good, remember he's really concentrating on his shoulders, okay? The next thing I'm going to get him to do is we're going to focus on hamstrings and glutes. Okay, this is a massive thing that people do not get. You always hear people saying, oh, your glutes not firing properly, or your hamstrings need activation. So this is a thing that everyone can do. It's really simple. You do not need any equipment whatsoever. So what I'm going to get Adam to do It's going to drop on the base of all four. Good. As he's on the base of all four, we need to make sure that he's got a nice straight back, also his core's engaged. Okay? From here, I'm going to activate his glute maximus. So from here, I'm going to keep his knee bent. As his knee's bent, he's going to drive his heel to the roof. Okay? And really concentrate on squeezing that glute. Remember, slow tempo. As he comes back, he's going to really think about controlling that. Okay? We're going to continue that. Good. Squeezing that glute nice and hard. As he squeezes the glute, the hamstring will also turn on as well. Okay? So this is what you're thinking about during this contraction. And then we're coming back. Okay? We're going to go to the other side. We want to repeat the same thing. Make sure core's nice and tight. Okay? Back's nice and straight. Squeezing that glute. Squeezing the hamstring. You're returning back to the normal position. Okay? The next thing we can do is a glute bridge as well. I'm going to get Adam to turn on his back. Make sure his feet are firmly planted on the ground. Okay? As we to do a glute bridge, we really want to drive through our heels of our feet. Okay? As we do that, we want to squeeze our glutes and our hamstrings. Okay? Really focus on that. Okay? Guys, can't stress it anymore. You really need to think about contracting. I'm thinking on my glutes. I'm thinking on my hamstrings. I'm trying to turn them on. Okay? Good. All right, back down, Adam. Good. The next thing I'm going to go on to is the core. Okay, so you can use the base that we set up before for Adam when he activated his glutes for core. Another one is alternative lifting. So as Adam's here, he's using his hands here just to reassure that he's activating his core. From here, he's going to lift his legs up. Make sure he's still thinking on this core, okay? He's really using his brain to concentrate and contract that. As he does this, he's slowly going to bring one leg out and then return it back with that nice slow tempo that we talked about, all about control. Okay, good. We're going to continue that again with the other leg and return. As we do this, as the knee returns, we're actually contracting our abdominal muscles. Okay, so we're really concentrating on that nervous system and really trying to get those muscles activated. Okay? Another one that we can do for core activation is, what everyone does, is plank. Okay? However, with this plank, we're trying to keep good form. Okay? Another thing is, I forgot to say, but I'll mention it now, is everything must be done with good form. Okay? You do not want bad form and then muscles firing ineffectively or actually firing in the wrong pattern. Okay, so that's why I've been stressing good posture with that. Okay, once we jump into our plank, we're making sure his back's nice and straight, his glutes are actually turned on as well, and he's focusing on squeezing his core. Okay, really turned on. You know he's working hard. For any exercises that you need to actually do isometric holds or contractions, you want to be about 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, and then you want to relax. Okay, you want no big long durations over 30 seconds, that's going to cause fatigue. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is, the last thing we're going to do is actually quads. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, so I'm going to get Adam to stand up. He's going to jump into a squat position. Alright, from here he's going to really think about holding this contraction and really tensing up his quads. Okay, that's the main thing. Remember what we talked about? Is focusing, slow tempo, and really not going to fatigue. As he comes back up, he's really thinking about contracting them and also contracting his glutes. Alright, we're going to return back to the squat. Remember, concentrating on the contraction and coming back up. Okay guys, that's the very end of my neuromuscular activation talk. Just want to reiterate, when we do these exercises, okay, we don't want to go to fatigue, okay? So we want to do around 1 to 2 sets, okay? 10 to 15 reps for those that have reps, and for anything we're holding contractions for, from 5 to 10 seconds, okay? No more than that, okay? Another thing is, slow tempo, okay? We want to squeeze at the top, and then slowly uncontract when we're coming back down. Okay, remember the next thing is the thing that we're contracting the muscle. Okay, guys, we're trying to do this to help everyone get more bang for their buck when they work out. All right, we want to optimize our working out because we don't work out that much. Okay, a week's made up of what, 170 something hours. We only work out 2 to 3 hours a week. All right, so how do we get more? We do pre-activation work, get best bang for our buck. Okay, thanks for listening in. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, just some basic information. Hope everyone, you know, learned something, and we'll see you soon. RBT North, signing out.